So let me check my phone real quick to make sure that we're live.
Pretty sure we are.
Yep. All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a different little video. As you can see in the title, it is the Walking Dead fan series important update. So we do have an update for you guys. But before we get into that, just want to talk a little bit about the fan series, and I'll pass that off to you, Jordan.
Well, we're on the finale, the season finale of the fan series of season 5, and it's been a great season so far. We want to thank everybody for watching
Mm-hmm.
and supporting and all of the some of the comments that we've got, and even some of the bad ones that we've got. We find some humor in those as
Oh
well. But a lot of passion. There's always been passion in the fan series, but this season was a blast to shoot and to make. Um, with obviously the reintroduction of Vince and his group and everything that we're seeing now in the fan series leading up to the finale, and that's the first thing we wanted to tell everybody that we appreciate the support from season 1 all the way to season 5, and we're excited for everybody to see the finale. Having said that, the finale currently is going to be delayed until further notice. Usually, there will be an episode per month, and in April was supposed to be the final episode of the season. But we're unable to do that this time around and this month simply because there was a lot of issues that went down. The last episode that you guys watched, which was episode 6, half of that, half of episode 4 and half of episode 6, because we had to film out of order this season. We've had to do that in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Half of each episode was filmed in August, so just about everything that you all saw in the last episode was filmed in August, and things were going smooth as far as filming. We'd filmed every month, and we were on the track to finishing the finale in September. And I was put in the hospital for a little bit of time. I was sick and had some issues, and we weren't able to film in September. October was a lot of recovery from those issues. November as well, and then through December. No, at the end of November, leading into December, it was holidays and everybody was with
Mm-hmm.
their family, so we couldn't film then. And there was a halt on the script writing as well because uh, I do the writing for the show, and where I was sick, I didn't have the full episode completely finished, and I did not get to finish it in September or even in August, leading into those months, and it was just a lot of recovery plus work and plus everything trying to get back into the swing of things. Christmas comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
January comes and goes. We're still unable to film. February, I get put back in the hospital for different reasons. Um, and then we had planned to film in February, and that got shut down because I was in the hospital once again. And then we had talked about filming in March, and it seems like the first time that I heard about this unspeakable virus that we're not supposed to talk about, COVID-19 or the coronavirus, that it was around the end or the middle of January when I heard about it. Now I heard about it in terms of, oh, this is a bad virus that's happening right now in China, and it was something that I kind of just brushed off my shoulder as, it's another virus. It'll come and it'll go, and it probably won't even affect me or my family or anybody around. And it hasn't, thank God yet. Hopefully it never does. But then it seems when I got put in the hospital through the month of February, I started hearing more and more about it. And then this month, it has just took where we live, which is Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky, by storm, and a lot of different places. I mean, Italy was hit really, really bad with the virus as well. Um, the numbers seem to rise, and I talked about this in some of my live stream on when I was doing the Last of Us walkthrough. The numbers seem to rise more and more where we live. and to the point now where things are businesses are starting to shut down, courthouses are no longer open, nothing is really open. Where we work, we're still open currently, but we don't know how long that's going to last, and we don't know how long we're going to be shut down if that, if it comes to that. Um, so with everything going on with the coronavirus epidemic, I guess everything that's going on in the world right now, we had planned to film, I believe, last week,
Mm-hmm.
or had to have been. No, I think it was this coming
Yeah,
week
this kind of
actually.
week.
We usually start filming on we're usually together on a Wednesday. We all meet up.
Mm-hmm.
We start filming on Thursday. We film on Friday, and then we have a couple days just to hang out because you guys got to keep in mind we live about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes apart, so we all don't get to see each other as much as we have in the past, and it's just things are seeming to go downhill a lot faster. People are even out of jobs, especially in
Mm-hmm.
sit-down restaurants, so they're having to sign up on unemployment. And people are in a mass panic. Everybody's seen it on the news. Everybody sees everything that's been happening around the world. Everybody's stocking up on toilet paper, groceries, just everything. And for that fact, everything that's going on, we're kind of, other than work, we're kind of bound to our homes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not for the fact that we are afraid to get it, um, which is a scary thing to think of. You have one side of the spectrum, everybody saying it's not that big a deal, and then you have another side of people saying that it's, basically one of the worst things that's happened in recent years, and the death toll and everything that's going on with the virus. I'm not personally afraid of getting it, and I'm not afraid even of Chris or Jeremy because we would have to film at my house. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
afraid of them coming up and them having it or giving it to me or any of that shit. Like, I think we're more afraid of us getting it and giving it to somebody in our family.
Giving it to someone
Um,
older, like a grandparent or possibly a parent or something like
yeah.
that.
So that's one of the reasons we've decided to postpone. And with money being kind of, hours have been cut where we work and not getting as many hours. And the fan series costs money. There's a lot of money put into it. It's usually a couple $100 depending on what kind of props and things we need. And to make the finale the way we wanted to make it in the way that it's envisioned from script to screen needs a couple things to make that possible that are a little bit expensive. And those things I was going to order and purchase for next week, but Amazon are currently putting a hold on their shipments. The last time that I checked, if it's not medical supplies or anything like that, they're putting a big hold on their shipments. And not only that, you've got cases of Amazon employees or people in the warehouse being, confirmed with the coronavirus as well, and they're touching packages and they're shipping it out, and things are just getting really, really bad to the point where I don't think I've ever seen it like this before. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. I'll let you talk about that, Chris. I'll be back in just 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, I can't believe how crazy this has gotten. I mean, obviously everybody knows about the whole toilet paper situation. I've personally not really been into any stores or anything like that for about the past week, maybe two. But I've seen pictures. I work with some people that go over across the street to Walmart, and they come back and they show me pictures of the shelves, the aisles just completely empty. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. Getting a call here. Probably can't answer that right now. But yeah, things are just getting so crazy, and it probably wouldn't be for the best if we did film. Let me hit decline on that. No offense to the person calling me. And it's probably for the best that we don't film. Wait a little bit, wait till this all blows over, which you really don't know how long that's going to be. A lot of people are, like Jordan said, a lot of people are out of jobs. And if we do get shut down and we get sent home, hopefully we can get unemployment. That's what I'm hoping. I wish that we could be home at this point because it's a little frightening being out there with this going around. Just last night on the news that I was watching, there was a potential positive test, if I'm even wording that right, uh, pretty much 30 minutes, maybe an hour away from where I live at, where me and Jeremy live at. So that's very frightening because I know a lot of people from our town that go over to that town to shop. And if someone has it over there, they can easily come back here and possibly give it to us. And not so much as me being afraid to get it, just pretty much basically saying what me and Jordan said earlier. I'm afraid of giving it to like someone like my grandma. And another thing about that is my grandma was planning to have surgery, and that's off the table there, where everything's going down with the coronavirus. All the surgeries are postponed till further notice, and hopefully this all blows over. It's just crazy time right now, and you just want to stay safe and stay home pretty much. That's what I have to add to that. I don't know when Jordan will be back, but in a nutshell, we will be postponing the finale. This is something that we really didn't want to do, but we have to do it. Normally we're ahead of schedule, but this season's been a little rocky for us. But all the support that you guys have given us, keeps us going. And I'm very proud of this season because not to toot our own horns or anything like that, but I feel like we get better as we go along. We learn more tips and tricks. We're able to bring in more people, more prepared, and that's something I'm proud of. 5 seasons, 5 solid seasons. The first 2, we were learning, and I feel like we really came into our own. Maybe around the end of 3. I'm really proud of 4 though. Season 4 is definitely has some of my favorite episodes, and hopefully you guys enjoyed season 5. Well, so far. It has some of my favorite episodes too. I'm really glad that we got to introduce Vince back into the mix. You got the Goons. That kind of,
Oh yeah.
Bring in more characters, even though they were masked characters. We got to, I got to play a few of those, which was really fun. And, I just hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. I was away for a second. Sorry about that, but
You're fine.
yeah, it's been. I mean, it seems like the first 4 or 5 episodes of the season kind of went as smooth as they could, and then we were on track as far as that's concerned, and then like I said, when I was hospitalized, it was. Ever since then, it's just been hard to get back on track with writing and getting everything together and actually making the finale happen. And it's weird that that's the episode that seems to be the most difficult to shoot right now. You know what I mean? But I think once this coronavirus situation blows over, which it will in time, we'll definitely be keeping everybody updated on the situation as far as filming is concerned. There is a scene that can possibly be shown to hold you guys over to the finale that we actually do have shot. And that could be something that if anyone's interested in seeing, comment down below, let us know, and we should be able to do that just to hold you guys over in the meantime for the final episode of season 5. And I mean,
nothing's official right now, but I'm thinking maybe we could do another live stream just to talk to the fans, until maybe give a little update here and there.
mm-hmm.
It's kind of fun to do.
Oh yeah, I agree. That would be fun. Just to talk to everybody about the current season and where
get thoughts.
Like I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions on it. Like you said, it's been for us. It's been a challenging season. There's not been as many as much cast involved as in previous season, but there has been some and some new characters, and like we got to see in the final episode, or the last episode, episode 6, and even I believe at the end of episode 4, and some in the opening of the season, episode 1, Buried or Burnt. We got to see my niece, Abigail Patrick, who has her role as Casey, and she's here right now. So let's see if you'll say hi. Abby, you want to say hi to all the fans?
Hi guys.
So she enjoyed doing it. And I loved adding her to
She
the
did a great job.
mix. And she's that character ain't gonna spoil anything, but she could have a long future or she could have a very short one. You never know with us.
That's true. A lot of the new characters do get killed off pretty quickly.
And a lot of people say that we hate females, so
No, nothing can be further from the truth.
no. I mean, only. Let's see. I'm trying to think of how many females have died in our show. Sam. It's too hard to count right now. Even include
three that pop into my head. Sam,
Alyssa, Ivy.
Oh God, okay, way more than what I thought.
Yeah, Alyssa, Ivy, Leon.
Man, I ain't trying to blame you, man, but you write these scripts, dude. I'm kidding. Sometimes characters have to die for the story.
That's true. That's very true. Speaking of characters dying, I mean, we're in a live stream now. This will be more to touch on in a different stream, maybe a stream for the fans particularly. But Sean's death in the season. We've not heard a lot of feedback from fans about that, so I'm curious. I mean, I don't know if anybody's watching right now, but I'm curious what people think about it. Not only that, but I'm curious how you feel about it, Chris.
Well, I'll be honest, man. It's been a hell of a ride. And, I thought I was safe. I'll be honest with you. I was like, you know what? I'll get the script. Episode 1, some stuff does happen in episode 1. Pretty much for the premiere, they are pretty exciting. I'm sitting here, man. And I read this. How could you kill me? Why would you kill my character, Jordan? I'm just playing. That was obviously planned. We talked about it. Jordan does make the scripts and everything, but he lets us know the details and that stuff. And we do help out here and there, but he mainly does the script. But, it kind of felt right in a way, because, how many seasons have we done? And, I'd say like I'm the character. Sean, Nick, and Scott, they dodged quite a few bullets. We'll put it that way. So it was about time for a main character to go. And, I like the way that we did it. The situation with my character, he was, pretty upset, because of, what all happened in the episode, everything transpiring around him. And he kind of lost himself there. But I like at the end that, even though him and his brothers were fighting, at the end, he kind of regained himself. But unfortunately, Travis's character did shoot me. Spoilers for anybody that hasn't watched. If you haven't watched, then probably shouldn't have tuned into this live stream.
That's spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
20 minutes in.
But I like how it went down. It was something different, and I feel like it was very, very neat in the fan series. Kind of spice things up a bit.
Yeah, and it was really really impactful too for your character. It was a big death. It was difficult to write. It's difficult to write any kind of deaths, but when it's a lead, it's different for the fans too, I think, to see. But yeah.
I mean, because I remember seeing some comments like, "Oh wow, every main character survived," and I was like, "Oh, wait till next season,"
Yeah, and I don't know if people, because we had shown, I believe actually, which I think is right. I'd have to go back and watch it, but if I'm not mistaken, in the premiere of season 4, we showed a lot of the a lot of that scene, and we actually did show Sean's death at the end of the premiere of season 4. And you didn't get to see how all the events unfolded until the premiere of season 5, so that was interesting.
Yeah, I like that. I was hoping somebody would possibly pick up on it. I'm trying to think. Did anybody comment on that? Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I'm not sure.
I can't remember. I think some people might have assumed it was a dream because we've done dream sequences before, like in season 3 with Nick killing the whole group and killing Emma and all that stuff in the dream. I feel like a bunch of people probably just assumed, oh well, that's just a dream, or it's not real or something's out of whack here. But if you pay close attention, it's almost, I think it's very, very close word for word. Everything in the then portions of the premiere of season 4 are what you see in season 5. It's a little different because we filmed those two scenes a year apart, but we made it as close as we could. It's kind of impressionistic in a way. It's like the Negan scene. It's kind of impressionistic, but it's still, we got it as close as we could. To replicate it as well as we could, but I love that part about it, and not only losing Sean in the premiere, but we also lose Emma in the premiere, and that was difficult to write as kind of like her surrogate father in the story. But there's a big reason for her passing, and it pushed forward a lot of things in Scott to. Now we know he just found Casey, but we also know, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, that he's been bit. So that was a big thing to write and a big thing to film, and it's the first lead character other than Molly who's ever been bit in the show.
Yep.
And it's it was an accident how he got bit, and he was saving Casey, and he just forgot to destroy the brain of the tormentor. So, but there's still time. He can cut it off. He'll be all right. He will be fine.
It's gonna be crazy to have to use some green screen or do something with that.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away to the fans right now, but yeah, that is. Basically, what we want to tell you guys, we are sorry for having to postpone the filming, and not just the filming, but the episode. So it's going to take a little longer now, because not only do we have to film it, we have to put it together, and we have to present it to you guys. So it's going to take a little longer than expected. I would say, if this coronavirus is blown over, that we may possibly be able to film. I'm not going to give an exact date, but hopefully sometime in May we can film. So that if we film in May, or if we film in April, or whenever we do it, expect at least a month wait for the edit to happen. So it's going to be a few months, but just bear with us. And hopefully everybody's safe out there and staying inside, and It's a scary time we're living in. It's kind of blown out of proportion a little bit, and I feel like the virus is a serious matter. But I also feel like I don't know. I feel like it's heavily
people turning on each other don't help.
It's manipulated in a lot of ways by there's politic shit that I won't go into in this stream, but nonetheless, stay inside if you can. Don't go out. Don't go around large groups of people. Social distancing. Try to keep your distance. And if you're like us and you have to work currently, especially if you're a police officer that's having to work, or somebody in that field, anybody that's forced to work, especially people that are in the medical field, doctors, nurses, things of that nature, and you have to work. Thank you for working. Thanks for doing that, and
especially during this difficult time,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because every day you go out. That's our job. Technically, we have to work because we have bills to pay.
Mm-hmm.
But if we wanted to stay home, if we didn't have those bills, we could. And there's a lot of doctors right now who are on call and they have to work.
Yeah, they have that luxury, Mhm.
If they get called in, they got to go. I mean, if they're sick, they can't. If they have symptoms, but I'm saying, they're putting their lives at risk every day. They go, and their health, nurses especially, and some nurses, most nurses are heavily underpaid for what they do anyway. So I can only imagine having to do that. Yeah. And the one thing that I'm most upset about out of this situation is that it's been the episode's been postponed so many times. I have to film because of medical issues on my part, which were unforeseen issues that I didn't know were happening at the time that I won't go into here. But twice I've been put in hospital since August, and that kind of puts a hold on anything. That kind of puts a hold on script writing. Although this time when I got out of the hospital in February, I finished the script as quick as I can. I already had stuff done, but I made it. I did everything and I got everything set up to where, well, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to postpone anymore. We're going to do it, and then this happened.
Mhm.
It's a scary thing. And I see we have Jeremy Burchett. Nick just joined. Hello.
Hi.
We're talking to the fans about just canceling the entire season. No, not that, but
Oh, shame. All that hard work for nothing, that would have been awesome.
yeah, would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, how have you been? Have you been staying in out of the stores and?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A little bit of cabin fever, but I'd rather have cabin fever over the beer bugs, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, when I drank, I didn't like Corona anyway, so it was a nasty beer. Did not taste good anyway, but we were kind of talking to the fans a little bit about the season, and me and Chris talked about what we liked about the season so far, and we talked a little bit about the work put into it, and Sean's death, and Emma's death, and just things that have been really impactful so far. What do you think about season 5 right now, up to episode 6?
I think it has to be the darkest season we've done. Also, I think it has. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it just seems like there's so much to lose, Like the stakes are really high this season because it's, we have a plan, but it's just that fight to try to put the past behind us, to get rid of all the things that are kind of tying us back emotionally and physically. And I think it's a really well written season, probably the best season we've done yet.
Yeah, I really love the season too. Everything that's happened between the characters, and we talked a little bit earlier, which I'm shocked that not more fans have really commented on or said too much about, is the arrival of Vince again, and we've technically not got to see Vince yet, but the goons were really interesting to write because they're unlike any villains that we've ever faced in this world. They're
little meth heads.
very much. They're really erratic and I think my favorite goon so far was Needles. Needles is my favorite goon so far, just because of everything he went through, and the scene with Nick and Needles, and the hand scene, and all that, and it was just an introduction, and I liked the whole part, how he played it. I mean, everybody probably knows who played Needles, but played brilliantly. I'll break the what's the word I'm looking for? I'll go ahead and tell everybody. Yeah, it was Eddie who played Judd, If you couldn't already tell, some people have told me they didn't know it was him, and some people told me they did. So it's probably
He does a really good
50-50.
job. I really like that goon.
Yeah, he was great.
I like how he went out on his own terms.
Yeah.
Very end.
Well, that was
Very
that was
unpredictable.
always his plan, though. You know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
feel like Vince has these people. They're like suicide bombers in a way. They're going into a nest knowing they're going to get stung, and it's all a game to get somebody from point A to point B. So
Mhm.
Needles knew if he didn't take out Nick and Scott, which he didn't, and he knew probably the odds were not good for him to kill both of them, that he was going to die. He knew that. That was his idea. That was to buy time, and that was to get them split up, which we get to see. Well, I mean, I guess we can spoil the Thomas thing because that's in episode 6 too. We know that Thomas was a ploy to get them split up, and he did it pretty good. And to get Scott to go to the van, which Scott returned, and then, I mean, Nick even opened up to Thomas about things, and but there was a little bit of Thomas that opened up to Nick as well about what his brother did to him. So there's that thing where you think, well, could Thomas be brought back? And that's something I toyed with, which was the answer was no. There's too many things he's done to the group and to Nick, and
I think a small part of Thomas would want to come back, but I think he's just too far gone.
Yeah, so I loved writing that, and I mean, I don't think nobody's commented on it, but I don't think anybody knew it was Thomas.
Right. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, when the ideas of season 5 first started floating around between all of us and the general outline for the season, that wasn't supposed to be Thomas. There wasn't any Thomas, and I thought, well, we never see him die. We see Nick eye for an eye. We see that scene. Cut to 360 shot of in red in the trees, but we don't see him die. We see Nick covered in blood, and we see him walk away. But when he describes, he don't know if the deed was done. I thought it would be interesting for him to have survived the situation, and he did, and we all know what happened. And I mean, you talked about this a little bit, Chris, a few minutes ago. We didn't really get to touch on Casey as much as, like, Casey is a really cool character that I think the fans are. I think they'll like to see a little bit more of her. And
No, man, she's a woman. She's gonna die very soon.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier too.
Yeah. We couldn't count how many women have died in the show. We just know lots. I'd have to look back at every season. I mean, that's just women on screen as well as women off screen, like first person women and things like that who've died. But and the Scott's bite, that's where we're at right now. We're at the point now where Thomas is dead. Giggles, which is kind of like Vince's second in command, and we kind of see that at the end of episode 6. He talks, he talks back to Thomas, which lets you know where he stands, and he's just invited Nick to the party, and he's captured Scott. So that's where we're at right now, but he doesn't know that Scott's bitten. So right now it's just a rush to get that arm off. That's the rush leading into the next episode, is trying to stop that infection from spreading.
Yeah, so you've already kind of had your Lee moment, haven't you?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it worked with Molly, so it's we'll see how it goes with Scott. But that's where we're at in the season, and that's kind of where we're at in the world right now with the coronavirus or COVID-19. And that's why we postponed, or that's why we're having to delay or postpone the episode. So just a little announcement that we wanted to make, and we wanted to to get out there for the fans, because come April, if it wasn't out, people were going to be asking where
Oh,
it
yeah.
was.
Where it was and what's going on and this and that. Unfortunately, some things happened and delayed the filming, but we will get it done eventually.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll let you know. We'll give you updates and all that stuff for sure.
Absolutely. Has anybody been watching yet or anything like that?
It says now we have 0 viewers. We did have a question. It says, is season 6 a possibility in the future? I don't know if you want to answer that right now or not. Because
Well,
Let's get through season 5.
yeah, we'll leave that for. We'll leave that. We want to try to make it through this season and make this season the best season possible before we discuss a season 6.
right, and I mean we've already discussed so much in this live stream that we're gonna need other topics for different live streams. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That.
Exactly. Well, everybody stay safe, and I think we should maybe plan and do a live stream for the fans, and hopefully we'll get some people in there and we can answer any questions they have about the season.
They can leave some down below if they want.
Yeah, if you're watching this, leave some questions down below. Anything that interests you, anything that you might want to know about season 5 or past seasons, just a question that you never had answered, we'll happily do it for you. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything else to add?
Well, just about the whole coronavirus thing. Binge watch some stuff, play games, do whatever it takes to stay inside, clean your room, quality time with the family, just anything. If you feel sick, don't go out and stay safe. That's pretty much what I've had on that.
That's I agree. Find things to fill your time.
Mm-hmm.
And productive things too, if you can. If you're a writer, write. If you're a painter, paint. Spend time with the family, especially if you're quarantined in with the family. You ain't got nowhere to go. So.
Oh, did you guys hear about the Tom Hanks update?
I mean, I heard a week or so ago that he was okay, like he was fine from it.
Right.
Yeah, I heard that he was fine. I heard his wife when I saw it, but that, like I said, it's been a week or so ago that I heard she was still quarantined, but I heard he was okay to leave.
I seen some kind of article that said that he wasn't doing too good, but I didn't click on it, so I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't really know.
I don't know. I know it's affecting elderly. It's affecting elderly people, but it's also affecting young people too. I don't think I think it has. It depends on not only age, but I think it's just immune system in general.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a weak immune system, and from what they're saying right now, kids can carry the virus, but it doesn't affect children the way it affects adults, which is a good thing.
Right.
Not saying any of it's good, but I'm saying I would rather it affect me than my niece. I would rather be sick from it than her to be sick. So it's not affecting kids as much as it's affecting adults. And they don't really know why that is. Kids have, from what I looked and from what I researched, they were talking about kids. They're in school all year long. Most of them have colds. Most of them get sick constantly and continuously to where they build up an immunity to things like this. So they can carry it, which is the scary thing, is they can carry it in their blood and have no symptoms and have no sickness, but pass it on to somebody elderly and can be really fatal for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mess, and just like you said, man, if you don't have to go out, don't. If you can get off work, you can file unemployment or you can stay home. You can't get unemployment, unfortunately, until the business shuts down that you're working for. Then it's optional. Obviously, you're going to take the option if you can. Also, what you told me the other night or yesterday, what you were telling me about sick leave and all that stuff. What were you telling me about again?
So from what I read was, sick leave. If you're sick with it, I think you get 2 weeks pay, I think. if you are caring for somebody in your family, you get 2 weeks pay. And I'm pretty sure it says that if you have a kid that you're home with, they're not going to school, you get 12 weeks paid. I think I don't know how accurate that is. I'm sure it's probably different in different places, and there's probably a lot more to that. But I'm glad that there's that option.
Yeah, exactly.
Look into that. If you offer any of that, definitely would be really good, really helpful right now. Because going without getting paid is not good. Got to have money.
Exactly. And if you get bored, if we're quarantined in, which is looking like we might get that way because the infected rate is going up by the day here in Kentucky. We might do a few live streams, not just about the fan series, but about horror movies in general. And
nice.
keep you guys busy because we're watching horror movies just about every day, or talking about them, or doing something, just movies in general.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the last movie, I usually do a movie madness on my channel. I think the last one that I did was, we had a Hops and Flops episode, which is something that I had invented for my channel, which is basically try a new beer, along with watching a movie, and whether it be a good beer, whether it be a bad beer. If it's a bad beer, then watch a bad movie. And we had it filmed. Me and Chris, we watched Halloween 2007, and then we watched the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And that was a fun video, so I might upload that on my channel. It was about 40 minutes, but it was hilarious. And I was intoxicated after a bit and was just, wiping my ass with Rob Zombie's, beard, apparently. So it was bad, but it was funny. And I want to do more of those episodes because it was a blast to film. But I don't drink anymore, so Hops and Flops is not. If I do it, it'll be a one and only video. But more movie madness videos on my channel, more gameplay videos on my channel. I just finished The Last of Us. Going to do some more horror games, probably like Outlast and maybe Resident Evil 2. Not sure yet, but I'm trying to keep myself busy as well and get ready for possibly what's coming next week. And the weeks to follow, I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. So.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with you. I think it might get that way too. But, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully things get better, but we'll all make it through it, all in it together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it will be cool to do a movie madness or a live stream video or some movie or some video about do some apocalyptic movies. Let's do 28 Days Later. Let's do
that.
Do what?
So that's a really good movie. I'd like to do that.
Oh yeah, I love 28 Days Later.
Me too.
There's so many movies, guys, and for collectors, everybody's this kind of a perfect opportunity to catch up on what you've been missing. So everybody says, well, what are we going to do for 2 weeks if we're quarantined in? And I'm like, I have enough movies that we can watch for years, and not if we have electricity and we can, if we can watch movies, you won't be bored. I promise. And the same goes for Chris and Jeremy. They have tons of movies too. So for us, it's not that bad of a deal. I would actually like a week off from work. That'd be amazing.
That would be.
With pay, it would be great.
Watch movies, play games. This is kind of the dream.
Yeah. I've been getting some shit ready, like I said, for the quarantine, if we're quarantined in. And if that happens, I'm going to be quarantined in with a bunch of people and my nieces. So I'm going to need earplugs. And it's a good thing that I won't be able to drink and won't be able to get out to get alcohol, because with everybody in the same house, I would be drinking every waking hour. Just joking, guys. Probably not, but all seriousness. Yeah, just rambling on at this point. I see a squirrel outside.
Where?
No, that's not a squirrel. Never mind. It's a honey badger. Yep. Little honey badger. I just started recently. I was about to say something funny. All seriousness, I got a 4 terabyte external hard drive from my PS4, and I've been trying to download games in case the quarantine does happen. I'll have some shit to play. But it takes like 35 hours to download a game with my shit internet. But I just downloaded the Uncharted collection, and I got Uncharted 4. I'm going to play through those again. And I have to mention this because we're talking about Apocalypse and we're talking about the fan series. The Last of Us 2, if it gets delayed again, I lose all faith in humanity as it stands. And
It doesn't. I mean, release it digitally. There we go. On digital. Release it on that so people can play it. Then they can just get in stores whenever the whole coronavirus goes. Bye-bye. If it ever does.
Because I want to play. I have it pre-ordered, but I'm probably not going to pick that edition up. It's the big limited edition set. I'm probably just going to go for digital because it preloads days before it's done. You got it at midnight. You can start playing it at midnight. I'm actually going to be looking to move most of my game library to well, I'm going to keep the disc stuff that I have, but I don't mind buying games digitally. I know you can lose it. That would suck. Physical is a good way to go, but it's easier. Now, I wouldn't do that as far as movies are concerned. I'm going to keep collecting Blu-rays. That's not going to change. I don't collect video games, so it doesn't bother me to not have a hard copy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I have a lot of digital games.
I have a couple as well.
It's safer right now.
Yeah, it's definitely better in terms of if you want to play it on release day or at midnight.
Yeah.
That's how I did with Mortal Kombat 11 and then Jedi Fallen Order. So you get to play it early. That's like the big thing about it.
I did that with Days Gone as well, and that was a fun game. Another apocalyptic game. That was a fun game, but I just finished, like I said, my Last of Us playthrough. Chris, you watched some of it. You were in there in the chat. That game was made 7-8 years ago, and I enjoyed Days Gone, but that game was The Last of Us is still way better of a game than Days Gone is, and that game's almost 10 years old. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I love the story, but it's just a better game after replaying it. I feel like the mechanics are better.
Mm-hmm. From what I've heard, I think a lot of people, I won't say they disliked Days Gone, but I think that a lot of people would agree with you that The Last of Us is better.
Yeah. Both games are fun. There's a lot of different games to be recommended during the quarantine, and a lot of movies to be recommended that anybody can watch. People ask me all the time at work, what horror movies would you recommend? And, I give them a list. I know they're never going to watch it because they probably can't even spell it, but no offense to some of the people I work with. But, yeah. That is,
What do you recommend to them? Don't leave us in the dark.
I've recommended a lot of things in the past, different slashers. Recently, I recommended, somebody asked me what they should watch on Friday the 13th. They were having a bunch of people over and wanted to put some movies on that nobody had seen before, and they were like, should I put The Conjuring on? Should I put, The Conjuring's not a bad movie. It's just not for Friday the 13th in my mind. But, I said, obviously, you're going to want to watch Friday the 13th, any of them. But, the original would be fun. And I said Sleepaway Camp would be fun. Yeah. The Burning would be fun.
Yeah, good one.
Madman, I recommended that. I recommended some other camp-like slashers, and I think they said they put Sleepaway Camp on. They found it on Tubi because I recommend them to put it on Tubi because it's free. and they watched it, and they said they didn't watch all of it, but they said the people were like, "What is this?"
Wow.
It's like they didn't even get to the ending.
Oh wow, they should have waited till the end. So
There was one girl there that they said liked it and was like, "Oh, I love Sleepaway Camp." And I saw a picture of this girl not long ago, and she was wearing a Return of the Living Dead shirt. So I was like, "Yeah, she
oh,
knows
wow.
Sleepaway Camp. She knows Sleepaway Camp. She's a horror fan herself." But there's a shitload. I mean, it just depends. For that, I mean, I would recommend all the Friday the 13th, but that's what we've been working our way through right now,
Oh yeah.
and we're on part 5. But there's a shitload to watch. I would, like we talked about in the past, I'd like to watch all those camp slashers on a projector outside
That would be
like
really fun.
in the summer, you know, or in the fall if it's not too cold. S'mores, hot dogs, cooking on the grill, having a projector, everybody with sleeping bags and tents, and I think that would just be a blast having like an all day or all weekend marathon. I mean, have it close to the house in case you got to piss and shit, you know. Luckily, where we film up here where I live, there'd be a couple different places to do that. Even at your house, Chris, there'd be a couple different places to do it. I mean, like my house where we film, we kind of manipulate it to look like it's not where it's at, and there's a lot of different sections, and there really is, but it's really close by the house everywhere we shoot up here. So, yeah, lots of good movies. And St. Patrick's Day just passed. I don't know if anybody watched any of the Leprechaun movies. I watched Leprechaun 3.
Yeah,
Me and Chris. That movie
Leprechaun
cracks me up. I have
movie.
do what?
Such a fun movie.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's funny. I have just as much fun with that movie sober as I did drunk, because that movie, I can laugh. That movie just cracks me up. That movie fucking is great. Warwick Davis at his best. Caroline Williams in there. I wish Dennis Hopper was in there.
Oh
at some
man,
point.
that'd be amazing to have him in that movie. It would probably, I don't know, it'd probably be perfect then if you had Dennis Hopper in there.
Oh, I agree. Totally. So we're going on about an hour, right? In the stream. And we still got viewers currently.
I think we might have like 1 or 2. Not sure.
Oh, nice.
But unfortunately, I don't know if you guys got a message. My laptop is at 10% right now, so we don't have that much, not that much longer to go before my laptop dies. Unfortunately.
Yeah, we pretty much got, I think, just about everything that we need to get out for the information following the episode and all of that. We don't have any more questions or anything, do we?
Nope.
We had one more comment, I think.
Where at?
Let's see. Go to chat. Might have already talked about this one, but take your time with filming. Stay safe. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mentioned that earlier.
Okay. I
didn't
mentioned it now.
Commented back to it on there.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's thank you. We're going to attempt to, and we still want to get it out there for you guys as quick as possible. But you know, I appreciate the understanding. And
appreciate it.
any final questions? For any of the viewers watching? If you guys have any final questions or any thoughts on anything we've said in the stream before we have to end it, you can leave them now. Before his laptop is deceased, has passed. Top 5 apocalypse movies to watch during the coronavirus quarantine. I'd give a couple. I'd say The Road would be a good movie to watch. It's a good movie. We mentioned 28 Days Later. That'd be good. I Am Legend wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, that'd be a good one as well. Honestly, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
any of the Romero movies would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Night, Dawn, and Day.
Mm-hmm. Man, there's so many. Like you really can't go wrong with just type in any kind of apocalyptic movie, like anything like that, survival horror film.
The
I think Zombieland would be a fun one, little
Oh, yeah.
popcorn flick.
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen Zombieland 2 yet, but I need to try to check it out.
Yeah, I went to the theater and seen that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Where the sequels, man.
I was watching the other day. It's a little too close to home for some people, but when I typed it in on my PlayStation, I had the Blu-ray, but I was trying to type in something that wasn't even involving the movie, and it popped it up. It was like the most recent search on PlayStation today, and it was that Contagion movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched it on Blu-ray
Because I want to watch during this time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. I'd seen it in theater. It came out in 2011. I went and seen it. Thought it was a good movie, and when it came out, I bought it. It's a much deadlier virus than what we're facing right now. It's a terror. It affects the brain, whereas it's a respiratory virus. I believe the coronavirus is. That virus affects the brain, and the fatality rate in that movie is 70%. Which is, I believe, 70% of the population is infected with that virus in the movie, and over 2 million people die.
Wow.
The fatality rate currently, it might have went up or it might have went down, so don't quote me. But in the coronavirus situation is 3%, which is not good. 0% is what you want to be at, but it's 3% opposed to 70%. If you caught that virus in that movie, you died. There was no recovery rate. There wasn't any, like, people have recovered. Thousands have recovered from the coronavirus. There was not, and that movie was scary as fuck because when you caught it, you caught it. And it was done. It was over. There was no cure. There was no vaccine. It was just a good movie. A really, really good movie. And I remember why I liked it so much. And I may actually do a review on that movie soon on my channel. Just because I enjoyed it.
A good time to do it.
Yeah. Probably get a bunch of views.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a lot.
Oh, God, I just thought of a movie that'd be kind of fun for the quarantine.
What movie is that?
That Elijah Wood movie, Cooties. Like, it's like all the children kind of become, like, infected.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's a bunch of teachers in a school, like, trying to stay away from the kids. They're like 28 days later, like, infected little cannibalistic monsters. It's pretty fun.
There's a movie that's on. It was. What were you saying?
I was just saying, don't expect it to be serious. Just take it as it is.
There's a movie that's on Netflix. Last time I don't have Netflix anymore, but when I had it, that I watched, and it's actually pretty good. It's called Carriers. It's a pretty good little infection movie. Same thing. People get sick. It's a real bad thing, but there's no zombies or any kind of apocalypse like that. And that's kind of what The Road is. The Road is amazing. If anybody ever watches The Road, read the book too, because The Road is just. I took a lot of inspiration from that book in the fan series. I took a lot of inspiration from The Last of Us, zombie films that I've seen over the years. 28 Days Later. I took everything as inspiration. Obviously, the official show and the comics took inspiration for that, but The Road, check The Road out. It's good. But, yeah. I know your laptop's about to die. We don't have any more comments from the viewers, do we?
Nope, we do not.
Well, you got 1 minute until an hour. You want to hit it at an hour and stop there?
Mm-hmm. That sounds good to me. I'll go ahead and pop this right here up.
Yep. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. Remember that. Stay safe if you can. Avoid contact if possible with anyone currently.
Social distancing, 6 feet apart, right?
Wash your hands. Wash your hands and stop touching your face.
I need to do that. I touch my face 1,000 times.
In that movie, in that Contagion movie, the Kate Winslet's talking her character, and she's like, the average person touches their face 2,000 to 3,000 times a day. In between, we're touching doorknobs, money, and all that. So,
Wow, that's crazy to think about. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Usually it's wash your hands and don't touch something else instead of your face, but
the game has changed quite a bit.
yes.
don't stick a finger in your butthole.
No.
I mean, not right now. Especially somebody
guess-
else's finger.
Yeah.
You may like how it feels, but just know.
Appreciate you guys leaving me the only one on camera while you guys talking about putting fingers in buttholes. Appreciate that.
Are you on camera?
I'm the only one.
Oh, really? Really? I thought you wasn't on camera.
Hmm.
I thought, oh man, you've been on camera through the whole live stream. I didn't know that. My bad. Sorry. I retract my butthole statement. I mean,
It's fine. Well,
I don't. I keep it as is.
thank you guys for watching. Stay safe.
We'll catch you guys hopefully in another live stream.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.